evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Um, Now, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the channel and are watching me for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is that we deal with everyday issues and we try to seek logical solutions, which not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. Now, today it's what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about certain items as far as events and human interest stories. I just want to let everybody know that we are right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope and Twitter. I know most people are going to watch this in a replay, which is okay. But in any case, it's going to be a short video. So now I'm just going to share a couple of things. Just bear with me for a moment. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to share with you is the situation regarding Whoopi Goldberg. Now, most of you are already aware what's going on. But the situation with Whoopi Goldberg, she got suspended from her program in The View regarding certain comments that she made. I'm just going to read to you. In the beginning of the week, The View, Whoopi Goldberg made a comment regarding the Holocaust, claiming it was not about race that sparked the outrage and got her suspended from the network executives at ABC. Now, basically, the issue was that she referred to the Holocaust not as being anti-Semitic, but as showing man's inhumanity. And as a result, there was a lot of backlash involved, of which Whoopi Goldberg did apologize for her remarks, but she was suspended for 2 weeks without pay, quoting the network executives so she can meditate on her words and how her words were very offensive. I'm going to give you my personal view on the subject. To me, she was half right. She was half right in the sense that what we saw in Nazi Germany was an example of man's inhumanity towards their fellow man. The fact that millions of people, not just Jews, that were executed, killed, simply because they were not pure Aryans. In this respect, she was right. As far as her not being anti-Semitic, she was half wrong. Because of the fact of the matter, over 6 million Jews will perish under Nazism, not to mention millions of other people. So now we're going to go to, which is the situation regarding Governor Hochul's announcement. For the benefit of those who are not familiar, this week she made an announcement stating that in many locations, the mask mandates were lifted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the tape regarding her press conference, and then I'm going to comment further. So.
also patrons of businesses the comfort to know that they are safe when they went into these stores. We had a mask or vax requirement for businesses. It was an emergency temporary measure put in place literally 2 months ago.
Sorry, just one moment.
And at this time, we say that it is the right decision to lift this mandate for indoor businesses and let counties, cities, and businesses to make their own decisions on what they want to do with respect to masks or the vaccination requirement. Given the declining cases, given declining hospitalizations, that is why we feel comfortable to lift this in effect tomorrow. And I want to thank all the businesses and the county leaders and the health departments and places as far away as Erie County who did the right thing to help us get through this. I believe this has made a huge difference, and it gives also patrons of businesses the comfort to know that they are safe when they went into these stores during our most vulnerable time when we saw those numbers literally off the charts. And now those numbers are coming down, and it is time to adapt. However, we want to make sure that every business knows this is your prerogative. And individuals who want to continue wearing masks, continue wearing masks. And I suspect when I walk the streets of New York City, as I often do, I'm still going to see a lot of people wearing masks because they will feel safer. That is something that they are very, very welcome and encouraged to do. But in terms of having a requirement, it is being lifted as of tomorrow. And so thank you to the business owners. It wasn't easy. I walked in a lot of restaurants showing here in New York City my vaccination card. And I just want to thank all of them, for everything they did. They are part of the New York story and our response to this pandemic. They are an example of what leadership, even in their own lives and in their own communities, looks like. And they stepped up. And some of them, it wasn't pleasant, but I want to thank them because of them, we were able to lift this at this time. Again, I will always retain the flexibility to make adjustments if necessary. You know how I operate. I'm looking at data, looking at trends, looking at everything that's out there. But I also want to deal in the reality that we have a very good picture that has been painted over the last few weeks, and particularly as we are approaching the expiration date of this temporary measure that's been in place now literally for 2 months.
Now, let me just make it perfectly clear what it means. First of all, as far as the max mandates are concerned, that's going to be left to the local businesses to make that determination. And also, we are still required to wear masks when we in public transportation. We are still required to wear masks when we're in hospitals or medical facilities, or when we are in nursing homes. And again, it is at the discretion of the local municipalities in regards to the mask mandates. While it's good, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Now, I understand many of us are suffering through caution fatigue. Okay, because it's been 2 years since we've been doing this. And there's been a lot of misinformation. So while it's good, the restriction being eased, but I'm looking forward to the day where we can do away with the mask, where we don't have to do social distancing. Of course, we still have to wash our hands. We should be washing our hands regularly before the pandemic hits. Now, I'm going to share another story. Just give me a moment. Actually, it's going to be a quote. So just give me a moment. Now, this is something that I saw. This was a tweet by Denzel Washington. And I just want to read to you what it says. You will never be criticized for someone who's doing more than you. You always be criticized for someone for doing less. Remember that. And I think that's an interesting quote. And the reason why, because criticism will always come from those who don't bother to do anything. It's very easy to talk. It's another thing to put your words in action. Now, I did come across a positive human interest story regarding two people who rescued a person who fell down on the subway tracks recently. So I'm going to share that with you. Just give me a moment. Okay. Now, this happened this week. It happened to do with two people who work for the MTA. Now, I'm going to read you the article on January the 30th.
We are recognizing two MTA heroes who helped save someone who fell on the tracks. Electronic Maintenance Division maintainers Scott Blundo and Brian Walter are being credited for their quick thinking. Last month, they were performing routine inspections in Brooklyn when they were alerted that someone had fallen on the tracks. They flagged down an approaching train and turned off power to the third rail until that person was rescued.
Saved a life. All right. It is 5:19.
Okay. Now, the reason... Excuse me.
She's only 10. She's only 10.
A mother.
Okay. I apologize for that. Now, the reason why I share you this, because every day we hear stories of people doing bad things. We rarely hear stories of people doing good things or great things. So I say shout out to those two MTA employees that saved someone's life. Now, I'm going to share with you one more clip. Just give me a moment. Now, this is something that I saw on my Instagram account. It's funny, but it's true. Just give me a moment. Okay. So now I'm going to share. Oops.
Cell phone a lot. I want you to do me a favor. For 2 hours a day, I want you to put your phone in your drawer. That way you remember how to hold a conversation. I cannot talk to someone under 25 without 2 minutes into the conversation, they pull that phone out and start hitting them buttons. Yeah. It's like watching a chimp peel a peanut at the zoo. They act like their phone's their personality, right? That's all they want to talk about is that phone. I always tell young guys, work on your car. Nobody ever got laid in the back of an iPhone.
Now, the reason why...
If you're under 25...
Sorry. Now, the reason why I decided to share you that little meme is because it is extremely annoying when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody and they're texting on their telephone. Like, They're expecting a phone call from what? The President of the United States? Please, put your phone away when you are with somebody. When you're by yourself, you can text it to your heart's content. Now, I'm going to share with you another. Now, this little clip, it's a little dated, but the message is as current today as it was when it was first aired.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. You can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Now, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the program, there was a program in the 60s called The Munsters. And you have a typical family where the father worked, the mother stayed home, the son, and then a cousin and a grandfather. Now, that message is almost 60 years old, is as applicable today as it was when it first aired. And the message is, it doesn't matter what you look like in the outside. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female or your sex is undistinguishable. What matters is your content. And let me see. Yes, intro Rica. I couldn't agree with you more. It's all the more reason why I had to share that. Now, as you can see, I have added a couple of touches to the channel. You're going to be seeing more of these little fancy little doodads in upcoming streams and episodes. I just want to make a couple of announcements. We're going to have some interviews soon on this channel. In fact, next week on Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will be conducting an interview with a YouTube creator known as Kate Fit Now. For the benefit of those of the uncommon folk who are not familiar with this YouTube creator. She has a channel, and she also appeared live on Instagram. She is into physical fitness, and she is an entrepreneur. So we're going to have an interview next week. So what I'm going to do is I am not going to use the feature where only subscribers get into the comments. So therefore, everyone is welcome to put their comments next week in the chat. All I ask is people, please be respectable, because I am trying to create a safe environment for guests to express their viewpoints. I also want to make an announcement that Tuesday, we're going to have another stream completely in Spanish. And the topic will be the issues which Latinos face in the United States. It will be at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Let me just say a few words in Spanish. Este martes vamos a tener la próxima programación completamente en español y los temas que vamos a hablar serán los problemas que enfrentan los latinos en Estados Unidos. Será completamente en español. Vamos a ser vivo a las 9 de la noche, tiempo de Nueva York. 6 de la tarde, tiempo de California. Y 8 de la noche, tiempo de Texas y zona central de los Estados Unidos. En esta ocasión, todo el mundo se podrá dejar su comentario en el chat, pero y que voy a pedir que por favor sean muy respetuosos y porque yo estoy tratando de mantener un lugar sano para los invitados que pueden expresar su punto de vista. So, again, when I do disable the function, allow everyone to enter the comments, I'm asking, please be respectable because I'm trying to maintain a safe environment for people to express their views. And if you cannot do that, you will be blocked. It is that simple. I also going to be doing other interviews. In fact, I have at least 2 more interviews scheduled for this month. You will be notified at the times and whom I'm going to interview. So as you can see, I'm doing different things with this channel. And I just want to say that I appreciate all the support that I have received from the subscribers, which I like to call the uncommon folk. I appreciate all those who watch it live and who will catch it on the replay. Now, I see there are 3 people viewing this video, and I really appreciate you guys very much. Now, before I go, I'm just going to give you a little taste of some of the things that I added on. Just give me a moment. Okay, as you can see, that's a new video clip. Now I'm going to show you the same clip, but in Spanish. And then I'm going to show you another clip. So these short little video clips I've learned during this week. Try to give my channel a little bit more of a professional view. Now I'm going to close with the new ending, which is the following. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. Because we all make mistakes. The thing is to learn from mistakes and not repeat them. Because if we fail to learn from mistakes, we are condemned to repeat them. And please be careful out there. And we must avoid contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and mass insanity. So I just want to say thank you very much. This has been another short video regarding news and current events, Uncommon Sense, with Jose Negron. So I'm just going to wish you all good night, take care, and peace.